daily deep dive into everything Utah Jazz.
It's time!
All season long and even in the offseason, it's Jazz Daily with JJ and Alex on your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for being with us on the program. Oh, JJ, it was a weekend that we were when Ace Bailey put up 32 against Washington on Thursday night, and we were like, what happened? And then Saturday rolls around, and they were with the Bucks the whole dang game. And he goes 29 minutes, has 9 points. This is a guy who's been improving. Every time Ace Bailey's on the floor, I'm like, I'm trying to picture this guy as part of the future, right? Mm-hmm. And he's there. Like, it feels right. He's shooting so much better now. He is definitely doing a lot of the young guy stuff. He still is a very, very, although we heard earlier in the program from Nick Saban that 19 years old playing against 30-year-olds, that's unhealthy. In football,
should be illegal.
Should be illegal.
We need to do something about this. Congress needs to get involved.
We got to get the president on this. Let's jump in with Jake Scott. He's our pre-half and post host for you on the Jazz pre-half and post-game shows. And also Jake and Ben is where he is during the rest of the week. So, Jake, welcome to the program, man.
JJ, Alex, it is always a pleasure. What's up?
We're fawning over this new Ace Bailey who has made this turn over the last, I don't know, it's probably been more like a month and a half. What have you seen out of this guy that kind of changed for him over the last little while? It's gotten him to the point that he certainly feels and looks a lot more confident.
Well, opportunity is a lot. I keep coming back with Ace that his tag coming out of Rutgers was, poor shot selection, kind of a chucker. I didn't watch a ton of Rutgers, but he gets to Utah, and that is not him, right? That is not him at all. He's been very much, and part of this probably had to do with him being sick at the beginning of the season and hurt after that, and so it sets things back. But he's not going to be that rookie that comes in and says 20 shots are mine. It's been a process of him figuring out how to be on the team and then where his spots are, and now thanks to the mass injury, whatever. You want your rookie out there taking 20 shots a game. Go for it. And some nights it goes well. Some nights it doesn't because he's a rookie. But, let's not overthink it. Tall, athletic, and skilled is a super combo in the NBA. And as he learns, he'll get better and better. So he's getting opportunity, and he's feeling more comfortable. That's for sure.
I'm not going to ask you for a comp. I don't really care about a comp, but what's his ceiling? What do you see his role being in the NBA and with the Jazz moving forward? What can he become?
Ben and I have gotten in these debates over what they want the offense to be going forward, and I think Will Hardy's a real ball movement guy. I think some people out there are looking for Ace to be an on-the-ball, dominant kind of playmaker-y kind of guy. I think he could do that eventually. I think he can do some of that now, but I honestly don't know if that's the way the Jazz want to play. I think they want to play pretty open and pretty, play hard and pass. I think Will really believes in that. And, there are a lot of mouths to feed now on this Jazz roster, too, with Jaren Jackson coming in and you hope Lowry full bore. And, Keontae's shown that he's going to need some shots and need some opportunity. And so I guess it's kind of what you want out of Ace Bailey, and I think he's more than capable in growing into kind of a higher reserve role, and then if he steps into that, the sky's the limit. Again, tall, athletic, and skilled is exactly what you're looking for.
As you watch these guys develop, and I'm assuming I'm hearing you drive in to fire your pregame up coming up here in an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We appreciate you jumping on because you're already going to be chatting this team up for the next long while. But as you watch teams like Golden State come in, and Ace Bailey is now, he's been downgraded to out for this game. I think Key is still questionable, right? So you're going to have less, no Ace Bailey tonight, no Isaiah Collier, and so maybe Key makes the start. But the Warriors coming to town, everybody's seen what Golden State's done over the past little while, but they've become something very, very different. What does the future of that franchise look like?
Oh, man, we talked a lot about this today, and, yeah, apologies for the driving. I really don't like to do that. It couldn't be avoided today.
Oh, no,
Hopefully you don't
I got
hear,
it. No, we're
people,
good. We're good.
Honking at me in the background or something. But, yeah, where
Good thing
are
we can't
the Warriors?
see what's going on, right?
Where are the Warriors going? I mean, they've tried to rebuild on the fly with Steph, and they've booted on some draft picks, and I think aging Draymond is not, any closer to carrying a team than, prime Draymond was. That's really just not his game. And so they've made little edge moves like bringing in Kristaps. But, this team is middle of the West, if not bottom middle of the West. And I don't know. Barring a huge move for like Giannis or something, and I don't even know if that could honestly be in the cards. I don't know where Golden State's going, and certainly not this year. Now you mentioned the Jazz lineup stuff. The Warriors are likely going to be the most talented team on the floor tonight, but the middle class of the NBA is so underwhelming. I mean, it really is. The top of the NBA, I mean, we could debate over, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, whatever the number is. And then the middle class, which is, I don't know, the rest of the teams that are actually trying. And then there's the section of the league that's losing. Well, the middle class is so bad. I mean, Milwaukee, the Jazz played lineups that are so young. I mean, I think there are going to be, teams in the tournament that have more experience than those Jazz teams. And the Bucks have Giannis, and the Jazz scrapped it out and made it close the whole dang game. I mean, Will Hardy has to be thinking like, listen, I'm not going to intentionally boot the game, but like, come on, you got to hold up your end of the bargain. Golden State tonight, Golden State, by the sheer fact that they're trying to win and field a winning team, should beat this Jazz team. But strangely, this NBA middle class just isn't very good right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's no doubt about that. And you look at where the Jazz are at, and I think fans have to be really thrilled that the Jazz, while it's been very painful, took this approach. I mean, you look at the Warriors, it feels a little bit like the Kobe Lakers, right? Where they were never going to trade Kobe, so they're just going to hold on forever. It feels like the Warriors are doing the same thing with Steph, but they also struck out in the draft, so they haven't helped themselves there. But the Jazz really have found some young guys that can play. And another one I want to ask you about is Isaiah Collier. We've seen him really take off over the last 6 weeks to 8 weeks of the season. What are you seeing out of him? And a similar question I had with Ace, what is his ceiling and what is his role in the NBA moving forward?
I think Collier is such an interesting case because I think if he were in the league in, I don't know, guys, where would you want to say? Like, I think if he were in the league in like 2005, he would be the real dude. You know what I mean? But the way the league has gone, and with the import of shooting and the pick and roll, and do they have to go over screens or do they have to switch? It's just so important, and that component just still isn't there. I give him credit because he does take a few a game, and he's got to have the courage to take them and get better. But that's just not there. But the crazy thing is the rest of it is all really good. I mean, his defense could get better, probably, especially given his physical stature. Maybe he could be a real weapon on that end. But I don't know if you caught probably not, but our walk-off interview with Collier after the Wizards game. Collier broke down to Locke, and it was so interesting. He broke down to Locke how he reads whether or not he's just going to, put the hammer down and go around a guy, or if he's going to lower the shoulder and go. I think it was so funny how he put it. He was like, give him the shoulder, and we can all picture it right in our mind where he just goes into the guy's chest with his shoulder. And he talked about how if the defender's feet are pointed out, that means go around him. And if the defender's feet are like parallel, straight up and down, that's go through with the shoulder. And I thought, whoa, this dude is a learner. He's a learner and a thinker, and he's going to find a way to be effective, which I really admire. So if you're asking my ceiling right now, a real bully backup point guard who's going to come in and wrong foot the other team by beating up, ragdolling their backup point guard. But I mean, guys, if he learned to shoot at a serviceable level, I mean, he'd be really good. That's just really hard to do.
Looking around the league, we're trying to figure out. I mean, I was I guess not shocked, just because I think that the medical advances that we see are just getting better and better every day. But Jason Tatum coming back, what does that turn the playoffs into for the rest of this? Because I guess we just assumed that the West is unbeatable in a final situation against whoever the East puts out there. But now with Tatum back, do the Celtics have a chance to win this thing, or do they just even come up short and not even go to the Eastern Conference Finals or anything?
All right, I have a take on this. Tell me if you follow. It depends on. Everybody just thinks, okay, Jason Tatum, the same Jason Tatum plugs right back in. They're back to being the Celtics. Well, the problem with that is they were a contender in the East. I don't know about in the league, but they were a contender in the East with Jason Tatum not playing, which is crazy, and a testament to Jaylen Brown for how good a basketball player that he is. So does Tatum come back and say, all right, Jaylen, well, Papa's home, and we're back to me? Because coming back from an Achilles, you're not the same even after you come back, you're not the same for a while. You're just not, let alone step back on the court. And hey, big ups to his physical therapists or whatever who have him in a position to play again. I'd have a tough time endorsing it if it were one of my, loved ones, right? But it's his body and his choice and all that stuff, and good for him. But does he come back and play a role? Because if he does that, then I think Boston is really better. If he comes back and wants to be like the guy or whatever, I don't know how that's going to go, because Jaylen Brown's been awesome, and I don't think Jason Tatum is capable of being his former self for at least a little while longer. So I find that's an interesting question. But given how craptastic the Eastern Conference is, so bad, then yeah, Boston absolutely could get themselves into the finals, and then you never know, right? But it depends on how they fit him in. I'll be curious, because I think Mazzulla has been pretty terrific so far. I think most people agree. So now how does he tackle this one? I don't know. I find it fascinating.
No, I agree. He's got to be okay with being number 2 right now, because I think Jaylen Brown has deserved that and earned that this year. And you're obviously not going to play Jason Tatum 35, 40 minutes a night either. So that'll be interesting to watch on the East side. I look at the West, and boy, the West is crazy. Last night, I work on KSL and NBC TV, and so I'm watching the game last night. Spurs and Rockets are on Sunday Night Basketball, and the Spurs are just unbelievable. And they're 47-17. They absolutely crushed the Rockets. And I'm sitting here thinking, could the Spurs go from not in the playoffs to winning a title in 1 year? We always hear the thing about you can't skip steps. But this Spurs team seems to be skipping those steps. What do you think about them and their chances? Because every time I watch them, I'm just wowed at how dominant not just Wembanyama is, but that whole lineup is pretty good.
Yeah, I like. Steph Castle's a baller, right?
Yeah.
I don't put them in the title contending category at the moment. And hey, you never know when playoffs get here, because they've got truly a unique player in Wemby, and let's see what that guy does when the lights are truly bright, because he's a unique player and a mismatch for anyone out there. I'm just not in love with how the Spurs are built. they've got a zillion point guards and, not enough minutes for them all. I don't know. I kind of feel like the Spurs might be one or two moves away. But, Oklahoma City had to come from somewhere, right? And now they're the talk of the league. So, that's a great thing about the playoffs. That's where you really earn it. And because the regular season just means less and less as time goes on, and it's how are you built for the playoffs? How's your health? And what are the matchups? And it's one of the best parts about the league right now, but it's also the thing that's kind of crazy is we used to go, oh, okay, this team's in third in the West, so they have this amount of chance to win it. And it's the way things are, it's way different than that.
Jake Scott, he's got the pre-half and post-game shows, of course, covered for you. They are going to tip off tonight at 7 p.m. at Delta Center, and you'll hear Jake and Coach. I'm assuming Coach is going to be with you today. Sometimes I make that assumption, and sometimes he's not. No,
we get Spyro once in a while. Coach is doing these camps now for kind of a day job.
Yep.
And sometimes that grabs him out of town or whatever. But we like it when Spyro fills in. I know he comes on with you guys once in a while. He's a great dude. But yeah, Coach, I've been doing it with Coach for, I think, like 6 seasons now. And he's, you guys know Tim. He's terrific. He's a great guy and really knows his stuff on the basketball front. So he makes it easy and fun.
Have fun tonight, and we'll be watching how this thing turns out. It's going to be a lot of people with the words, with the 3 letters out next to their names from both teams. So we'll see how this one rolls out. Jake Scott.
I still love that Nurk has nose on.
I know it says nose on it. Come on.
Oh my gosh, it just kills me every time. He's going to show back up next year wherever with Clark Gable's nose.
Yeah,
and we're going to be like, oh man, Nurk just had him do some work while they were in there, right?
Hey, why not? You're supposed to put on the Phantom of the Opera mask and move on, aren't you? That's what we're all asking of all these guys these days. That's what I thought was going to happen.
I every time I see the injury thing, I just think, he got the nose on there.
It was only beaten by impingement with Lowry Markin, and we're all like, no one's ever been impinged on an injury report ever. But here we are. So, all right, Jake, have fun, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Fellas, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Jake.
Jake Scott. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a dog of a game.
It has that, yeah. Is Steph playing?
I don't. The last I saw, he was questionable.
I haven't seen the Warriors injury report. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Because if he is, he's worth the price of admission every single time he steps on the court.
Yeah, and that's why you're.
And with some young Jazz players playing, you have that as well.
Okay, I've got. Well, no, it's not. He's not on the injury report.
Good. So Steph's playing tonight. So there you go. Go watch Steph tonight. Watch some young Jazz players continue to develop. Should be a good show, and I think that the tickets to get in will be reasonably priced.
You will be disappointed if you're hoping to see Seth Curry, though. Still out with that back injury.
Oh, I thought Seth Curry had impingement.
Porzingis is out. Will Richards is out. Yeah. Al Horford, we know why he's out. I get it. That guy's 100 years old. I'll give him a pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is weird to see him in Golden State gear, isn't it?
It is. That doesn't make sense.
All right. Well,
we got some breaking news.
Yeah, we do. Let's some
NFL breaking news, some locals in the NFL free agent news.
Why not? Let's fire it up. We've got NFL stuff to do a little bit later, but I'll get to it right now.
Alex Kirry's going to love this.
Let me hear it.
You ready to go?
Oh, no.
The Seahawks are bringing back wide receiver Rashid Shaheed of Weber State on a 3-year, $51 million deal that includes $34.7 million guaranteed. Congratulations to Rashid Shaheed.
How about paying it
$34.7 million guaranteed. What a deal for Rashid Shaheed, back with the world champion Seattle Seahawks.
That's phenomenal, first of all. I don't know if that's got to be his best contract, obviously.
Insane.
But
I remember it was a big deal when he got like $750K guaranteed when he was an unsigned free agent, and it was an undrafted free agent,
right?
Coming out of Weber State. Now he's got a $50 million deal. What a story!
So on a day that they lose Boye Mafe and Kenneth Walker III, I like this. I thought you were going to do you're going to really love this, and then it was going to be that Sam Darnold signed with another team or something. I don't even know how I'd feel about that, to be honest, but. Because it's not. I mean, I don't think everybody's. I don't think everybody thinks that Darnold's going to be the future of the next. I hate to
Long
admit
term,
it.
no.
I hate to admit it. I don't think we're watching a dynasty being born up in Seattle. No offense, Seahawks or Seahawks
Depends
fans.
on how well they can retool after losing so many of these free agents. But you're right. It was a kind of a mix of old and young on that roster. And trying to balance that out moving forward is going to be tricky for the Seahawks. We'll see how they respond to this because outside of the Rashid Shaheed deal, they've been getting hammered in free agency.
Good for him, man. Good for
It's
him. $30-something million guaranteed and worth every penny when you talk about how electric that dude is when he gets on the and listen, the Seahawks special teams are so good every year that adding that guy to it with a bunch of guys who already know how to like block for that dude. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen when the 49ers kicker tried to do the slide tackle on him. That was like still one of my favorite moments when Pinheiro tried to get a yellow card. He got the yellow flag, so that was at least there. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We have more to go. We're with you for the next hour here before we walk you into Mammoth coverage right here on the KSL Sports Zone. So when we return, let's get some more of that NFL news, the things that have been happening in free agency and in all of the newest happenings as we walk into the official league year start, JJ. Don't you love that? They're like, no, on the calendar, the season started.
I'm no longer observing January 1st as the first day of the year. March 9th.
It's March 9th. That's when the season starts.
2026 officially begins now.
Give me the financial start of the NFL season. All right.
That's the one I'll observe.
Let's kick this thing up. We should have gotten the day off, Lloyd. What the heck, man? More to go. 97.5.
Holiday pay?
97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the program. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. That music, of course, means we've gotten to our NFL Blitz. That's right. It's that time of the day. And guess what? There is a lot going on in the league now that the league year has started. JJ, I want to remind you, though, you can go to KSLSports.com/contests and nominate a youth sports volunteer in your neighborhood for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week program. How does it work? You nominate somebody who goes above and beyond, who does an awesome job in helping out the youth sports in your neighborhood somewhere. Team mom, assistant coach. That dad who's always the assistant and just really makes that impact on those kids, a referee, somebody who runs a program that doesn't get enough credit for it and does it out of the goodness of their heart. Go to KSLSports.com/contests and nominate that person for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week program. And then you get yourself a $250 to Beehive Meals. We read your story over the air. We put you up on the socials, and we embarrass you for being an awesome person. So keep it coming. KSLSports.com/contests. All right. NFL Blitz, of course, here, JJ. We've got lots going on because you have signings and waivings and extendings of contracts, all sorts of things going on as the financial year in the NFL has now kicked off. And let's get right to some of the big ones. You start to see names moving. How about wide receiver Mike Evans, who is good for 1,000 yards receiving every year, it seems like.
Future Hall of Famer, spent his entire year with career with the Bucs, and now that's going to change.
Going to the 49ers. Does he? Is that additive to the Brock Purdy offense?
Absolutely is. Mike Evans still got it. Had some injuries last year, but when healthy is as good as anyone in the league. And the 49ers are hoping that he can give them that extra piece in the receiving game to go along with what they already have on the offense, which is just loaded with talent. So I like the signing for the 49ers. And I think the Bucs probably made the smart move where this is a guy that's been here for 12 years, and we can't afford to pay him at the highest level.
Right.
He's not an all-pro anymore. So I think it works for the 49ers, and it's probably time for the Bucs to, with a lot of young receivers on that roster, to turn the page.
Yeah, we already mentioned that the Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III, is headed to the Kansas City Chiefs from Seattle.
Championship.
Do you remember when the GM of the Seahawks was like, he tried to negotiate with me? He's drunk on top of the bus.
Yeah.
This guy tried to negotiate with me.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? And then by the end of it, he walked away from it.
Yeah.
He's going to cash in, of course. If you're the Super Bowl MVP, can you convert that into being successful long-term with the Chiefs? I don't know, because they don't do a great job of running the football. But we'll see. Khyiris Tonga former BYU interior D lineman, he was drafted, I think, by the Bears, went to the Pats, which is where he spent this year and earned his way into that starting gig on the interior defensive line.
Yeah, played in the Super Bowl.
On a side note, Kairos Tonga, biggest calves I've ever seen on a human being.
He's massive.
And he is a dog, man.
Yep.
He is tough. And he's also been signed by the Chiefs. So Andy Reid getting back one of those BYU guys, and we'll see
7 per year for Kairos Tonga.
Look at that. I love that.
I think 14 of it's guaranteed.
Good for him. Let me see. Other big names. Travis Etienne going to the Saints.
Okay.
So is David Edwards. The big one, obviously, over the weekend was Max Crosby going to the Ravens. That is a massive move.
Mm-hmm.
And look, if I'm the Raiders, I'm okay with 2 first-round picks coming my way, too. Like, those are massively valuable.
It was time for the Raiders to turn the page. Max Crosby should be playing for a Super Bowl title. He should be on a contender. You can argue whether the Ravens are that, but the Ravens are obviously trying to get there. And so that trade makes a lot of sense, and I think it was time for the Raiders to let him move on because he felt out of place there.
Tua Tagovailoa, not a Dolphin anymore, as we knew was going to happen. Where did we say he ended up? Is he going to the
Atlanta Falcons?
He's going to be at the Falcons.
Falcons now have 2 left-handed quarterbacks.
Come on.
And Tua has 2 left feet.
I know. Could you imagine being like, well, we need him to step in for Michael Penix Jr., who tore his ACL again this year. That's his 3rd ACL tear of his career. And then they bring in the guy who has multiple concussions a year. We're going to need him to back up the guy who's maybe not going to make it.
Sure they want to cut Kirk Cousins?
Look, I like Michael Penix. I like Michael Penix Jr. I think he's going to still pan out there. I don't know if he's going to start the year. That might be the question, is timeline-wise. Could he make it work? I don't know. But the the Falcons now short a running back because a local has left the building down there in Atlanta, JJ.
Tyler Algier is now a member of the Arizona Cardinals. So he signs a deal with the Cardinals, and there's a good chance that he's their feature back because they had some serious injuries to their other guys they had last year, and so James Conner being one of those guys. Will Conner get back healthy? We'll see, but that could be an interesting pairing, James Conner and Tyler Algier for the Cardinals. Algier was a great compliment to Bijan Robinson with the Falcons. But career low last year for Tyler Algier. 514 yards last season. That's not terrible for a guy that's your number 2 rushing option. But he also had a career-high 8 touchdowns, so there was a balance there. Bijan Robinson had an amazing year last year, and obviously he's the man there. But good landing spot for Algier. I just, obviously the Cardinals are not the best organization, but it's a great opportunity playing-wise for him. And the money, too. 2 years, $12.25 million.
A quarterback who's getting another shot to reboot that career, Malik Willis. The Dolphins saw 4 games with Malik backing up Jordan Love last year at the Packers, and they decided, you know what? Show him the money. So there he goes.
Jeff Hafley, the new head coach, was the defensive coordinator at Green Bay last year.
Makes sense. He knew he faced that guy at practice, obviously, a lot. And so he probably looked and went, you guys, I'm telling you, he's got a live arm, and all the things that they dogged him early in his career for, I feel like he's turned it around. So there you go. The Dolphins get Malik Willis. Let me see here. Who are the other big ones here across the board? Am I missing any big ones?
We did the breaking news earlier that Rashid Shaheed got a big deal to return to the Seattle Seahawks. Not on our list here because it was late breaking, but Rashid Shaheed re-signs with the Seattle Seahawks for a very, very big number.
Speaking of a big number, how about the number 14, which is how many years Travis Kelce's been in the league, or will be in the league when he starts up his next year. He's just signed according to sources, a 1-year contract with the Chiefs to come back for year 14.
There you go.
Look,
Chiefs rolling it back. Will Mahomes be ready, though?
Well, that's a good question. I don't love Travis Kelce. Until that guy is not catching 88 balls a year and 700 yards and 8 touchdowns. I think his touchdown total went down a lot this last year, but he's still catching a lot of balls. You could argue that actually it's not a great move. I got Rusty keyed earlier in the day because we had a conversation about Kenneth Walker III going from Seattle to the Chiefs, and so he got into how Travis Kelce, what that's going to look like going forward. And I think even Chiefs fans are like, I don't know how long this is going to last, man. And at some point you go, if that's your best option, you run the ball for 4 yards on the first 2 downs, and then you throw it to Travis Kelce underneath for an 11-yard pickup. Like, you got to get firepower. You got to get those guys who are going to score touchdowns. But I would never have Travis Kelce walk away if he still had 80 catches in him as a tight end in the league.
Does he? We'll see. 37 is what he'll turn in October. And I've got his stats in front of me. His last 1,000-yard season was in 2022. That year he caught 110 passes for 1,338 yards and 12 touchdowns. Last year, though, 76 catches.
I know, man.
On 108 targets. So his targets were even down from that season by almost 50.
Yeah, but
851 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns. He's only had 8 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons combined.
Yeah. 13 over the last 3 on a year that he had 12 that year that you were talking about.
So the production is
Production's
definitely
gone down.
way down.
But again, if you were to see that, if you were to just have a blind look at a tight end's numbers, covered up the name, covered up the team, and you went 76 catches, 851, and 5 touchdowns for a tight end,
you'd probably be excited about it.
You would be beyond.
So you have to give him credit for that, yes.
What's crazy is we started to expect 1,000-yard season after 1,000-yard season. Remember when the tight end was good for 3shoulder yards a year and we were happy with it? Yes.
They mostly blocked. You threw it to him twice a game.
Jay Novacek had shoulder pads that were bigger than all of the offensive linemen because that was his job.
The Ozzie Newsome type tight ends.
Right. These guys came in and they blocked, and they're like, dude, could you believe he picked up that 1 first down during the playoffs? What a just a beast.
Shannon Sharp changed the game.
I did. And now, I mean, Travis Kelce had 8 1,000-yard seasons in a row.
Yes.
And over those 8, averaging about 100 catches a year. That's a crazy number for a tight end. And so he's a Hall of Fame guy. I would never kick that dude off the roster if he told me, even if he said, I've got 60 catches in me next year and 700 yards, like you get that guy on the, you keep him on the roster, keep the leadership there.
It's the right move for the Chiefs, no
All right.
doubt.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Let me see what we have here. Oh, we've got a sucks to be you, and I've got a handful of people that currently sucks to be in the world of sports. Stay right here with us. More to go. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Basking in the sports misfortune of others to help make you feel just a little bit better about yourself. As JJ and Alex present,
yes, we got beat. We got beat badly.
It Sucks to Be You.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. We're going to get you up to the top of the hour here, and then we'll have Cole Bagley, our Mammoth insider for KSLSports.com. He just took a quick jaunt to the East Coast to watch the Mammoth beat the Caps and then the Flyers. Got home after the trade deadline, and then the Mammoth ended up winning game number 3, of course, which turned out to be an awesome game on Saturday. But we'll get Cole's thoughts on that and see where this team really is now that they had that awesome week so far after the debacle on last Sunday when they played to a 4-0 loss to the Blackhawks, who they are playing tonight. So there you go. Cole will join us in a little while. Hey, I've got a couple sucks to be. So, sucks to be the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Hawks. Wrong bird, wrong sport. The Atlanta Hawks. You already know where I'm going with this? It's bad, isn't it? They've canceled the Magic Monday.
Oh, no.
They've canceled the Magic City Monday. I'm sorry.
What about the lemon pepper wings? I only went for the wings.
Do a great garlic burger.
Serious, I went for the wings. Trust me, they're great.
Of course, this was in collaboration with the adult nightclub in Atlanta, Magic City.
It's a strip club, folks. It's a strip club.
They
planned a night to celebrate a strip club.
They were handing out sweatshirts to the first 5,000 people. They were selling Magic City gear. And Adam Silver put a kibosh on it. Said, no can do. We're not going to have it. After, quote, concerns from stakeholders, owners, and fans across the league. You think? Harden is like, I am signing a one-day contract with Atlanta to be there
James
for that
Harden
night.
somehow has to be there, right?
So
T.I. was going to perform at halftime.
I know. What's funny about it is I actually saw a T.I. video, and he was like so mad. and he started going full blankety blank on the powers that be. But I can't understand why they even would have pushed that through the very first time. So the March 16th, I know all you who had it planned to go to Atlanta for the Magic City night that they were having at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. It's no longer on the docket, so it's going to be Disney. I don't know what they're going to do, but I will tell you that is not the not really how it happens. The league's not supposed to have that going on. I don't know how it escaped anybody's thoughts on this. Hey, sucks to be at this Brazilian top league soccer game. Cruzeiro beat Atletico MG on Sunday 1-0. They won the Mineiro Championship, which is they didn't actually get to hand the trophy out at the end of the game because there were 23 red cards given out after a massive brawl.
Oh my gosh!
If you thought the Sabres versus the Lightning was a fired up affair, 23 red cards. With 30 seconds left in this match, they sent off 23 guys. And I don't even know how they finished the rest of this thing because at that point, you don't have enough people probably to put on the pitch at all. So, hey, football is life. How did RSL do this weekend, my guy?
Does not suck to be RSL.
I know. Look at that.
The kids are getting it done.
And that's what I'm saying. You got young firepower. Don't think that I wasn't following RSL this weekend. Come on. Football is live. Yeah, man. We're on that kick.
What's the countdown until Xavier Gozo's playing somewhere else?
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Why would you do that to Alex?
Why did I do that this weekend?
It could be this summer.
I was gonna say
the way he's playing right now, it could.
No, I know.
Be this summer.
That goal on Saturday was pretty cool.
If you think, listen, you could have two guys from on Team USA from RSL if you play your cards right.
Well, Diego Luna's banged up right now.
I know. And this is the guy who's taking over. By the way, that golazo that he had was insane.
Yeah.
Like, I just kept watching it. And when you see the different angles of it, you're like, oh, boy, this guy's elite. So there you go.
I mean, I wish he was here forever because he's a Utah kid.
Yeah, he's our talent.
We understand.
Can't we shoot down the trade or the transfers? Man City comes around and is like, no, he's staying here. He's from Lehigh. Nope. Have you ever been to Saratoga Springs? He's committed. They're like, oh, okay.
Xavier Gozo ain't going nowhere.
Some guy shows up with an accent. Xavier Gozo is gone.
Yeah.
All right? So there you go. Let me see. Anybody else who it currently sucks to be over the weekend here? It does suck to be the Seahawks who lost their Super Bowl MVP from over the weekend. Although I kind of talked myself into being okay.
But then you remember that they're the Super Bowl champions.
Did you see, by the way, the Dallas Cowboys are like looking for a premier pass rusher?
You know, one team I have not heard of today. Not one transaction.
We're on the lookout for an elite pass rusher.
What are the Dallas Cowboys doing? They are very quiet today.
Let me see here.
Did they do anything today?
I think that they were actually
one transaction.
I think. Okay. Oh, and you know what it was? They traded. But they also finalized a trade today for the guy on the other side. Because remember, they got Khalil Mack. They just got Khalil Mack from the Packers.
Khalil Mack?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Sorry. Kenny Clark.
Oh, okay.
I think they did get.
What was that?
I think they did.
They got Khalil Mack. I'm like, wait, what?
I think they did.
Oh, no.
I thought they did. Where did Khalil Mack get?
He stayed with the Chargers.
Oh, he stayed. Because they were saying he might have been because he had to sign a 1-year deal, right? The Cowboys were looking into Khalil Mack over the weekend.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
But they ended up with a Packers edge rusher, not
the one
not Michael Parson.
Not Michael Parson.
Oh my goodness!
Come on, Cowboys, wake up! Somebody wake up, Jerry. It's the first day of the league year.
Oh, Sam Farnsworth just weighed in. He said Cruzeiro versus Atletico is the equivalent of BYU versus Utah. Athletic director from Cruzeiro run onto the field, make some complaints. I was excited to play Cruzeiro, but now I am not. Hate the Mineiros Cup. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We have going for you, of course, the usual on a Monday. If you've been listening to DJ and PK over the weekend, this morning, over the weekend they pick a Rocky Mountain Chevy Dealer Play of the Week. and they get that one over the air, and then if you're able to tell us what their play of the week was, you get yourself an Amazon gift card. All courtesy of the folks of Chevy, your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers, America's fastest growing full-line brand. 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-9663. If you could tell us what that play was. Did we get a response from Yak? Any clues on that one?
Teams have already qualified for the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
And there was a big one this weekend.
Okay. Not in a large conference, I'm assuming, because that's what's happening right now. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Cole Bagley with us next.